So here we go with a Protoss versus random match. I am the red Protoss Zirish. My opponent turns out to be the blue Protoss Muay Thai Pons. This is just a bronze ladder match, my first ever as a Protoss, so this will be interesting. I am casting as the Fox Rat, but my player name is Zirish. So we will go ahead and speed this up a bit, as this is somewhat of a longer game. We will be able to keep up with everything, though. I do have my probe that goes off here. We are able to follow him as he does scout to the opponent's base and runs in headlong to the opposing probe. We do go in here and notice that he is throwing up his gateway first, mine shortly after. It's at this point in time that I do believe that I'm doing okay. Right from the beginning, I'm doing my build order like I believe I should. Not much going on there. So what I'm going to do is watch carefully as my opponent does some shady business here. So it looks like he decides that he is going to go all the way over here and expand. I do not expect this. I do not notice it until I watch the cast later. So he is sitting at 15 when he decides, well, obviously he's building up the minerals here, but he does expand shortly hereafter. He is studying warp gate technology, getting a few zealots out there, but in a matter of time he will drop the Nexus at this spot. I do not notice it. In fact, like I said before, it wasn't until I watched this replay that I realized he even had a second base there. Things will get interesting shortly. It does start building more gates. Currently still in the middle of researching warp gate. Builds a few photon cannons, and I believe shortly here, well, maybe it doesn't happen as quick as I think it does, but I do start building some zealots and chrono boosting, getting some stalkers out there, and he's probably going to drop this soon here. We'll just see. I am constantly, yep, there we go. He drops it right at 26. I do drop mine at 28, so slightly after his. But the big thing is that I don't notice his, and that's what really screwed me over in this game. He does have warp technology finished, and he's already got a pylon right there. I do figure this out here shortly when I send my, basically I have the same idea. I'm like, hey, let's go to the middle and build a pylon. Good warp spot. So I go out there and I try to build. Just going to see what he has. I do realize, I do see up here, but I don't see that he doesn't have very much. So when I come up here, all I see is this. I didn't see any units, so I'm not sure for sure what he has. I probably could have pushed through and dealt some damage, but didn't have that unit here. So now he is building up, and let me see if I can get some notations here. We will look at units. That's not what I want. Income. There we go. He is looking at 27 harvesters to my 18. He is raffle stomping me on the macro there. That's one big problem I had in this game. I do have this up, but I've got 2 drones working off the 3 drones working off this Nexus. I'm working here, trying to get more. And let's go back to production. Let's look at real quick at our APM. He is averaging just 3 more than me. Not that big a deal in my opinion. That isn't what everything is about. What it is about is your macro and your micro, but in this game it's definitely macro that makes the difference. I do think I micro fairly well, but he does drop a few more gates and drops, what, 3? And then what I miss is this Dark Shrine. Allows the Dark Templars. And that's what really screws me over. He drops 2 more assimilators, going with gas. Currently, he is owning me again. Let's look at this income here. He's looking at 32 to 24. And it's not looking good for me. I do have... let's see here. He's even got more than me on that as well. He's looking at 32, like I said, 24. I've got 4 zealots, 2 stalkers, and this is what really screws me over. That and the observer. Really something I need to learn to get right off the bat as an observer. But going to production, and here's where the craziness starts. He starts with a Stargate, and I'm attacking over here. And he is defending it fairly well. Eventually I get up there and draw him back to my photon cannons and start destroying him. So what gets me? Let's see if I can find it. There we go. Warps in that warp prism. Drops in the Dark Templars, and now this is where the game pretty much starts going down south really fast. I am up here, breaking through. Eventually I do unpower all this here. He starts dropping the photon cannons as this little box of surprises making its way up to my base. And this is where the problem starts happening. I do supply block him here shortly by 1. I'm thinking I'm doing fairly well. I'm thinking he's going to throw the GG. What I do not realize is he has a whole nother base that I don't know about, and that base was producing Dark Templars, which come here and bloop, bloop, bloop. There we go. Bye-bye, probes. Quickly I notice it, start trying to pull them away, but not quickly enough. And I pull up here with some photon cannons. Need to get those detectors up here. And a little bad micro on his part, attacking my assimilator. There we go, that's what he needs to do. And I'm dropping pylons like crazy. Eventually, they do start, and down goes the Dark Templar. Those Dark Templar, followed quickly by those zealots there. And in the meantime, he did get a 3rd base started, and this is not looking good for me. He does eventually start producing what looks to be some... Yep, there we go. Void Rays, Void Rays, Void Rays. And you can pretty much say goodbye to me. Oh, hi, Chad Houston. And he does drop shortly another Stargate and quickly creates a bunch of havoc for me. His base is fairly run down here. Let's look at units lost. I'm looking at 42 to 36, just a few more resources. And let's see real quick. There we go, that's what I wanted. Units killed. I've killed 21, he's killed 40 of mine. And there we go, with looks like a little bit more protection there, blocking off his remaining gates. Doesn't really use those for the rest of the game, because he does then switch over to dropping another robotics facility and another Stargate. Quickly techs over to Void Rays and Immortals and makes my day not so good. I still have no idea that he has a 2nd, let alone a 3rd base. This is where scouting would really come in handy with one of those observers, which I do end up producing. As you can see here, I do realize, or I have produced that. He's got those Dark Templars, and I need those in order to do anything. So I do believe I pulled that observer on its way over. I'm saying, hey-o, watch this, guys. I'm not going to let you Dark Templar me anymore. Oh, and more photon cannons. But I'm like, hey, I need some more units. And I start building them up. Alas, I could have come in here and probably won the game if I had realized that he had a second base here, which, oh, so close, oh, so close. But I was sitting like this, and fog of war is a nasty thing. So, one observer pass over here would have realized that, only had those units, could have pulled these guys with, especially with what is about to happen here. I do believe that I drop in some units there. I don't know if you'll be able to tell this. He's sitting at 000 on those. Let's see what his immortals are. 001. I'm looking at 001 as well. So I do believe I warp in fairly soon some more units, and then those units could quickly made easy work of those. Oh, now he's at 101. I'm still sitting at 001. If only I would have moved them right over here, I would have had this game. I do eventually try to expand, I believe, over here. Oh no, I knocked down these rocks, and then, well, I think I'm just going to build back at my old base. Got 2 stalkers up here. I'm going to build shortly a pylon and a photon cannon. But that doesn't really help much considering he is mass producing these void rays and immortals, which are about to make my day very nasty. Like I said before, so close yet no cigar. One quick little bloop over here, and that would have been the game. I had enough units there. Could have taken out the 2 void rays and the 2 immortals that he had. Focus fire on those, and it would have, I think it would have gone well. And those mortals are okay, so against the stalkers, but these zealots, yeah, I think they would have done fairly well. Well, we'll see this play out here. We're looking at only about 2 minutes left in the game. He quickly then decides, well, I think I attack. Yeah, I do go in for the attack. I think I can take him on his one base with his photon cannons. Lo and behold, the surprise that he has waiting for me becomes unveiled. I quickly realized that this is not where I wanted to be. Caught between his 2 armies. Those immortals are just stupid crazy at destroying buildings. They do go ahead and pass on. I warp in a few guys here, thinking maybe I can get some pot shots off on them. As you can tell, I have a significant disadvantage when it comes to our food here. And he then is like, well, let's just take the game. I throw up the photon cannons, but there's really not much I can do. And I do believe I throw up the GG and call it a quits. This is definitely a game for me to learn from. Always watching and scouting with those observers. They're basically free map hacks. So I don't know why I didn't use it before, but that's what I need to do, is just constantly go around watching for those expansions, those secret expansions, also any tech that they may have. This was the Fox Rat commentating on a game that I played as a Zirish against Muay Thai Pwns, and I did get pwned. Join us again next time, and we will try another Protoss match. Signing off.